Good morning, friends. Success isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you create brick by brick, day by day. Every single morning you are given a gift, 24 hours. What you do with those hours determines whether you win or waste the day. Winning every day isn't about outworking everyone else. It's about outliving your own excuses. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. Because small wins, stacked over time, create massive victories. Starting strong is more than just waking up early. It's about setting the emotional, mental, and physical tone for the rest of your day. The first few minutes after you open your eyes are like wet cement. Whatever impressions you make during this time will harden and shape how you think, feel, and act for the next several hours. Too many people let their mornings be hijacked by chaos, rushing, or reacting to the noise of the world. They roll over, grab their phone, and let other people's priorities, opinions, and problems take center stage before they've even had a sip of water. That's like handing over the steering wheel of your day to a stranger. Starting strong begins with ownership. Before the day demands anything from you, you must decide who you are going to be in it. That means waking up with intention, not by accident. It's not just about what time you rise. It's about why you rise. A strong start is purposeful, not passive. When you wake up with purpose, you send a signal to your mind and body that today matters, that you matter, and that you are in control. Your morning is a sacred space, and what you put into it will echo for hours. If the first thing you consume is negativity, gossip, or trivial distraction, your focus will scatter. But if you feed yourself with clarity, gratitude, and energy, you prime your brain for better decisions, sharper thinking, and a calmer spirit. For example, instead of checking messages, spend a few minutes in silence. Breathe deeply. Think about the kind of person you want to be today. Ask yourself, what is the single most important thing I can do that will make today a win? This simple act shifts you from a reactive state to a proactive one. Physical movement also plays a huge role in starting strong. When you move your body, even lightly, you wake up your mind. Your blood flows, your mood lifts, and your capacity to focus grows. This doesn't have to be a full workout. Stretching, walking, or a few body weight exercises can transform your energy levels. The goal is not perfection, it's activation. You want to signal to yourself that the day has begun and you are ready to engage with it. Equally important is how you talk to yourself in those early moments. Your inner voice will either empower you or weaken you. If you wake up thinking about what you can't do, what's wrong, or what's unfair, you're already fighting an uphill battle. But if you choose to affirm your ability, remind yourself of your strengths, and focus on opportunities instead of obstacles, you carry a winning mindset into everything you do. A strong start is not about cramming in as many tasks as possible before breakfast. Your mind? Ability. It's about aligning your mind, body, and emotions so that the rest of the day unfolds with clarity and strength. It's about stepping into the day with the quiet confidence that you're not just awake, you're alive, alert, and ready to win. Focusing on the vital few is about cutting through the noise and making sure your energy is invested in what truly matters, not in what merely fills your time. Every day is full of demands, emails, messages, tasks, and distractions, each one fighting for your attention. The danger is that if you try to do everything, you end up doing nothing that really moves the needle. The most successful people don't accomplish more because they do more. They accomplish more because they choose wisely where to place their effort. They understand that not all actions are equal. Some tasks have the power to change the course of your day, your week, and even your life, while others only keep you busy without moving you forward. When you focus on the vital few, you are choosing quality over quantity. You're asking yourself, what are the 3 most important things I can do today that will create the biggest impact? The key word here is impact. It's easy to fill your day with tasks that are easy to check off. A few quick replies, some small chores, a bit of browsing, but that's not the same as progress. Progress comes from concentrating your effort on the actions that produce meaningful results. This is why setting priorities in the morning is so important. Without them, you drift, allowing the urgent to override the important. Clarity is essential. You have to be honest about what matters most in the bigger picture. Sometimes the most important task isn't the one that screams the loudest. It might be a project you've been avoiding because it's hard or uncomfortable. It could be a conversation you've been postponing because it feels awkward. Often, the things that will make the biggest difference are the very things we want to put off. Focusing on the vital few forces you to face these head-on, because you understand they are the levers that move everything else. The discipline to stay with the vital few means learning to say a no to the many. This isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about protecting the space you need to work on what matters most. Every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something essential. That's why boundaries are not just a nice idea. They're a necessity. If you allow your day to be dictated by everyone else's priorities, your own priorities will always come last. There's also a mental shift that comes with this practice. You start to measure success by outcomes, not by how busy you were. You begin to understand that being productive is not the same as being effective. You learn that a single, well-executed action can be worth more than a dozen mediocre ones. This mindset keeps you grounded and focused, even when the world around you is trying to pull you in 100 directions. The vital few are your anchor. They keep you from drifting, they give you purpose, and they ensure that when the day ends, you've moved closer to where you truly want to be. Guarding your attention is about recognizing that your focus is one of the most valuable resources you have. And once it's scattered, it's hard to bring back. In today's world, there are endless forces competing for your mental space. Social media notifications, constant emails, breaking news, and the demands of people around you. Each interruption might seem small, but together they chip away at your ability to think deeply, work effectively, and make meaningful progress. When you lose control of your attention, you hand over the direction of your day to anything or anyone that distracts you. Your attention shapes your reality. What you focus on grows and what you neglect fades. If your day is constantly broken into fragments by distractions, you never get the chance to immerse yourself in the kind of work or thought that leads to real achievement. This is why guarding your attention is an act of self-respect. It's saying that your priorities matter more than someone else's urgency, that your vision for your life is worth protecting from noise and clutter. It's about building walls around your focus so you can channel your energy into the things that truly matter. One of the most effective ways to guard your attention is to be intentional about your environment. The spaces you work and live in should support focus, not sabotage. This might mean turning off notifications on your phone, closing unnecessary browser tabs, or setting specific times to check messages rather than reacting instantly to every ping. Small steps like these help you take back control of when and how you engage with the outside world. If you don't set boundaries, the world will happily set them for you, and they won't be in your favor. Guarding your attention also requires discipline with your own habits. Sometimes we are our own worst distraction, jumping from task to task without finishing anything or giving in to the urge to scroll endlessly when a task feels difficult. Recognizing these tendencies and creating systems to counter them, like using timers for focused work sessions or keeping your phone out of reach, helps you stay anchored in the work at hand. It's also important to be selective about what you allow into your mental space. Every piece of information you consume takes up room in your mind. If you fill it with negativity, gossip, or trivial content, you crowd out the thoughts and ideas that could actually move you forward. Choose wisely what you read, watch, and listen to, because your mind is like a garden. What you plant there will eventually grow. Guarding your attention isn't about cutting yourself off from the world. It's about engaging with it on your own terms. It's deciding that your time and mental energy are too precious to be given away carelessly. When you protect your focus, you protect your potential. You create the mental clarity to think bigger, work better, and live with greater purpose, free from the constant pull of distractions that steal your best out. Keep learning is a mindset that turns every day into an opportunity for growth, no matter your age, experience, or position in life. The moment you decide you know enough is the moment you stop moving forward. The world doesn't stand still. Technology advances, industries evolve, and perspectives shift. So the only way to stay relevant, adaptable, and truly alive is to keep feeding your mind. Duh. Learning is not just about formal education or sitting in a classroom. It's about staying curious, asking questions, and being willing to explore ideas beyond your current understanding. When you make learning a daily habit, you give yourself an edge that compounds over time. Even 10 minutes a day spent reading, Listening to podcasts or reflecting on new concepts can lead to massive personal and professional growth over the years. It's like planting seeds every day. Individually, they might seem small, but over time they grow into a forest of knowledge and wisdom. The people who consistently outperform in life are rarely the ones who rely solely on what they already know. They are the ones who are constantly searching for ways to improve, adapt, and expand their thinking. Keeping a learner's mindset also means being humble enough to admit that you don't have all the answers. Ego is the enemy of growth. If you believe you're the smartest person in the room, you stop listening. And when you stop listening, you stop learning. True, strength comes from being open to new perspectives, even when they challenge your beliefs. It's in those moments of discomfort, when your ideas are questioned or your assumptions are tested, that real learning takes place. Another powerful aspect of continual learning is that it sharpens your ability to solve problems. The more knowledge you accumulate, the more mental tools you have to tackle challenges from different angles. You begin to connect dots that others can't see because you've been collecting and organizing ideas over time. This not only makes you more capable in your work, but it also builds confidence. You know that whatever situation arises, you have the resources and adaptability to handle it. Learning doesn't have to be formal or complicated. It can come from reading a chapter of a book, observing how someone approaches a task differently than you do, or even reflecting on your own mistakes and extracting the lesson from them. Every person you meet has something to teach you, and every experience holds a hidden insight if you take the time to look for it. The world is full of free lessons. It's just that most people are too distracted to notice them. To keep learning is to stay alive mentally and emotionally. It keeps you adaptable in a changing world. It keeps your mind sharp. And it opens doors you didn't even know existed. When you commit to growing every single day, you don't just gain information. You gain wisdom, perspective, and the ability to create a better version of yourself over and over again. Taking bold action is the bridge between intention and achievement. Many people have great ideas, detailed plans, and big dreams, but they get stuck in the space between thinking and doing. Fear, doubt, and the need for perfect conditions hold them back, so their goals remain in their minds instead of becoming reality. Bold action is about moving despite uncertainty, stepping forward when you can't see the entire path, and trusting that momentum will reveal the next step. Without it, knowledge and preparation are wasted potential. Bold action rarely feels comfortable. In fact, the moment you're about to do something that truly matters, it often feels the most intimidating. Your heart races, your hands sweat, and your mind lists every possible reason to wait. But that discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're heading in the right direction. Growth lives on the other side of fear, and fear is often the strongest just before a breakthrough. Acting boldly means you refuse to let that fear decide your future. There's a misconception that bold action requires you to be fearless. It doesn't. It requires you to act while feeling the fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward in spite of it. When you take that leap, even if it's small, you send yourself a powerful message. I am capable, I am willing, and I will figure it out. That shift in identity is often more valuable than the outcome itself, because it changes how you approach every challenge afterward. Bold action also breaks the cycle of overthinking. The longer you hesitate, the more time fear has to grow. You start imagining worst-case scenarios that rarely happen. And before you know it, you've talked yourself out of something that could have changed your life. Action cuts through that noise. Even imperfect action teaches you more than endless planning ever will. You learn by doing, by testing, failing, adjusting, and trying again. Every step forward builds experience, resilience, and clarity. It's important to understand that bold action doesn't always mean taking massive leaps. Sometimes it's about doing the simple but uncomfortable thing you've been avoiding. Making a difficult phone call, asking for help, sharing your work, or applying for that opportunity you think you're not ready for. These small acts, repeated consistently, build the habit of courage. And once courage becomes a habit, the actions that once seemed impossible start to feel natural. The world rewards those who are willing to step up before they feel fully ready. Opportunities often go to the people who show up, speak up, and move first, not the ones who wait for a sign. Taking bold action is not a one-time event. It's a way of living. It's the choice to bet on yourself, to take responsibility for your dreams, and to trust that you can navigate whatever comes after the leap. Every great achievement began with someone deciding, I'm going to do this, even if I'm scared. That decision, and the action that follows, is where transformation begins. Ending the day with reflection and gratitude is like closing a chapter in a book. You give meaning to the story you just lived and prepare yourself for the next one. Too often, people end their day in a rush, distracted by screens, unfinished tasks, or thoughts about tomorrow's problems. They carry the weight of the day into the night, never pausing to acknowledge what went well, what could be better, or simply what they're thankful for. This robs them of the chance to end with intention and peace. Reflection and gratitude create a mental reset, allowing you to step into rest with clarity. Reflection is about looking back at the day with honesty and curiosity, not judgment, and curiosity. It's taking a moment to ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? What challenges did I face, and how did I handle them? Where could I improve? This process turns every day into a teacher, helping you notice patterns in your behavior, recognize progress, and identify areas for growth. Even on days that feel unproductive, reflection helps you find lessons hidden in mistakes, setbacks, or missed opportunities. Over time, this habit builds self-awareness, which is the foundation for personal growth. Without it, days blur together, and you miss the chance to learn from your own life. Gratitude shifts the focus from what's missing to what's already here. No matter how difficult a day might have been, there is always something to be thankful for. A conversation that lifted your spirit, a problem you solved, a meal you enjoyed, or simply the fact that you made it through. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties. It's about choosing to see the good that exists alongside. This shift in perspective doesn't just feel good. It changes how your brain works, making you more optimistic, resilient, and open to opportunities. The combination of reflection and gratitude is powerful because one helps you improve and the other helps you appreciate. Reflection keeps you honest about where you stand, while gratitude keeps you grounded in what matters. Together, they create a sense of closure for the day, reducing stress and allowing you to rest with a calm mind. It's like cleaning your mental desk before you go to sleep. You put away the clutter, keep what's valuable, and make space for fresh thoughts tomorrow. This practice doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for and 1 lesson you learned before going to bed. It can be a quiet conversation with yourself while lying down, replaying the highlights and appreciating the moments that mattered. Over time, it becomes a ritual you look forward to, a way to honor both the wins and the struggles. Ending with reflection and gratitude turns every day into progress, no matter the outcome, and it leaves you with the quiet confidence that you lived with awareness and appreciation. And so remember this, every day is a fresh page, but how you close each one matters just as much as how you begin it. When you take the time to reflect, you learn. When you choose gratitude, you grow. Do this often enough, and you won't just count your days, you'll make your days count. Go to bed knowing you gave your best, and wake up ready to do it again. That is how you build a life worth living, one intentional day at a time.